Good morning. Good morning. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and I want to welcome you to the Success Mentorship Call number 135. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us. This is an interesting call, and a lot of what we're doing today is covered in our book, of course, the 12 Universal Laws of Success. And you can get our book and a lot of our other goodies on our website, www.herbertharris.com. This is such a powerful topic today that let me open with a meditation. Let me put us in the proper place to see, to be, to do, and to be able to receive that which we desire. So let us take a deep breath. Just close our eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Hold it. And let it out slowly. And affirm, I am open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us say that together. I am open, receptive, and ready to learn. So it is. All right, folks, I want to begin today with an interesting quote from Jim Rohn, and I think it really captures the whole idea, captures the whole piece. And it says, don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenges. Wish for more wisdom. The major value in life is not what you get. The major value in life is what you become. Success is not to be pursued. Success is to be attracted by the person you become. Operational word there, attracted. Success is not pursued. Success is attracted by the operation of the person you become. So with this in mind, with this thought, you desire on a particular level. When I say you desire on a particular level, when you want something, when you really want something badly, your level of desire determines your ability to achieve it, to accomplish it. And the key to achieving success is how do you develop your desire to the strength that you are able to attract into your life that which you need to be successful. So desire, it boils down to how badly do you want it? How can you become that which you desire to be? How can you become that which you desire to be? So if it's wealth, how do you achieve wealth? If it's success, how do you achieve success? If it's joy, how do you achieve joy and happiness? One of my favorite books, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, and there was a question posed, and the question was, how quickly can you get from one place to another? And the answer was, to be there. Real simple. How quickly do you get from one place to another? To be there. And so when we think about that now, if you are there, then that means that you literally become one with that which you're seeking. There's no such thing as, you might say, getting. It's all about becoming. You know, most of us desire and dream of great things. But let's look back to that earlier point in life. When we were kids, we desired generally to become some of the things we saw around us. Many kids, I want to become a fireman. I want to become a policeman. I want to become a doctor. I want to become a teacher. Many kids wanted to become teachers because with their experience in school, the teacher became such an integral part of their development. So if you realize that kids have that tendency to want to become that which is around them, so their definition of desire, their expression of desire really depends on the level of exposure, the people around them. But think about this principle, beautiful principle. Desire is based on your level of consciousness. So you know the spiritual principle. It says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. And so in this process of using desire and elevating our level of desire to the point where it can attract the things that we're seeking into our life, means that we must constantly put away childish things. And when I say childish things, I mean a level of consciousness on which you operate for a higher level of consciousness. Albert Einstein said you can't solve a problem at the same level that created it. And so if you want to accomplish your goals, the things that are important to you, it is important that you expand your level of desire so that it's big enough to create the power to attract into your life that which you want. Companies use this all the time. Think about this. Most companies have what you call a mission statement. And that is really a statement of their desired outcomes. What are they really about? It is possible to have a desire that's too small to fit into your vision and your purpose. Now, let me give you a company illustration. IBM's mission statement was basically to get machines to the world, to bring computers to the world. And IBM branded computing and the computing area so strongly that we call computers IBM machines. You young people may not remember that day, but back in the 60s, a computer was an IBM machine. They had so totally branded that because that was the level of the desire of company mission. But then along comes Apple. Steve Jobs creates a desire bigger than machines. He said, let's give people a creative experience. So now instead of a computer being a device that deals with X's and O's, a computer becomes a tool for people to express themselves. How'd that work out? Well, I think Apple is the first $1 trillion company. So this idea of your desire can be a powerful tool for you now to help you get to the things you want to get to, help you be, do, and have that which you want. It may be that our desires are not big enough to support the vision and purpose for which we were created. Think about Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was a lawyer. And if his desire was to become a wealthy, famous lawyer, he could have done that. If that was his stated desire, I'm sure he could have done that. But there came a time in which his desire changed from a very personal thing, where he said he desired to change the condition of his people. Now that's powerful. So if Nelson Mandela had focused on the small desire, becoming a rich, famous lawyer, who knows where South Africa would be? Which leads us to the principle of manifestation. Your level of desire is based on your level of consciousness, your level of awareness of who you are. Your level of consciousness determines your level of vibration. Everything we do is a vibration. Every word we say is a vibration. Literally everything that is has a vibration and energy associated with it. Your level of vibration determines your ability to attract and to manifest the object of your desires. So the bigger desire, the bigger your desire, the bigger your level of consciousness, the bigger your level of energy, the bigger the manifestation in your life. So it may be, and this is the reason we chose this topic today, it may be that we have consistently failed, each and I think every one of us has had this experience, that we've consistently failed because our level of desire was just not big enough. It was based on the consciousness that we have in our present state. In order to achieve great things, we have to take our level of consciousness to the consciousness of that which we want to achieve, the Jonathan Livingston Seagull principle. The quickest way to get there is to be there. When we approach it from that level now, we realize that we have to create a level of consciousness that expands our level of desire. The universe, for example, the creator, may create a vision and a purpose in us in the process of creating us, where the level of desire was just to quantify. The level of desire necessary to bring about our destiny, maybe a quart of desire. Your level of consciousness and your level of vibration must be on the quart level to achieve that you were set here to do. But based on who we are, based on our past failures, based on the things that did not happen in our lives, based on our early childhood, we may not see ourselves big enough to receive the fruits of that high level of desire. So just quantifying it, we may have a level of desire that is pint level, and the universe requires a level of desire that is quart level to give you the ability to manifest. And so what happens is we get frustrated. We have this desire, but the universe requires a much higher level of vibration. So we keep trying at it and we fail. So what is the solution? The solution then is to expand our level of desire, to expand our level of consciousness. How do we expand our level of consciousness? And this is where the incredible gift has been given to us. We expand our level of consciousness through our imagination. Now let me look, we're on page, oops, that was so beautiful, that's interesting. We're looking at pages 81, for those of you who are following along. We're looking at pages 81 and 82. There are two types of imagination. We have what's called synthetic imagination, and here, synthetic imagination means taking existing concepts, existing ideas, and putting them into new combinations. Synthetic imagination operates through education, through observation. And so a genius then uses synthetic imagination to keep trying new and different ways until he finally figures it out. Thomas Edison was kind of a synthetic imagination inventor. He just kept trying and trying. He ran out of ways to fail and he finally won. The other type of imagination is creative imagination. And this is a much more powerful type of imagination. Creative imagination comes from a direct connection with universal intelligence. Creative imagination might be looked at as the umbilical cord. You know, when a child is born, the umbilical cord connects the child to the mother. And once the child is born, that umbilical cord is cut and the child goes off on its own. Well, our conscious, subconscious, and superconscious mind are like an umbilical cord that's never cut. And so because we're alive, we are automatically connected, our conscious mind, the things we can see, feel, experience. Our subconscious mind, our feeling nature, that part of us that objectifies whatever we desire. And then the superconscious mind, all knowing, all powerful for all time. Your connection to all that is, all that was, and all that can ever be, all operating in one time. So creative imagination is the faculty through which hunches and inspiration come. Even the way it communicates, our subconscious mind can communicate with the subconscious mind of other people, because on the subconscious and superconscious mind, it's like one great field of thought and vibration. It's like, I guess Einstein talked about it a bit in his unified field theory, that there's one field that penetrates all that is. Sometimes we say that this superconscious mind operates as a sixth sense, a hunch. And we've all had it. We've been engaged in things, in situations where that we see that little voice told us, don't do it or to do it. And very often we ignore the little voice. But the point is that that little voice is the voice from our source, from our creator. And the more we learn to rely on it, become one with it, and be directed by it, the quicker we get into the harmonic, that vibration that strengthens your desire so that you're able to manifest, you're able to do miracles. Your creative imagination, for example, can compensate for the lack of experience. We've seen people come into a situation and they are able to win, they're able to be victorious, not because they're any better, it's just because they want it so badly. That level of desire is so intense that it literally attracts into their space that which they're seeking. We often say, if your level of desire is high enough, don't worry about the how. Think about the life process now. We understand the physical process wherein a baby is created. But that level of consciousness now, we're clear. But we don't have not one iota of information of power at this point of how to make that heart beat, how to make that breath happen. And so our goal in strengthening our level of desire through our imagination says that we have the ability to do anything as long as we can plug into our source. So then this leads us to the point that if that is the case, then how do we expand our imagination, our synthetic imagination and our creative imagination to clarify our desires? Let me say it another way. How do we expand, how do we use our synthetic and our creative imagination to empower our desires? The term clarify meaning to understand it, but the essence is once you understand the level of desire that's necessary to attract into your life that you need, then you're one with it. You become it. So let's look at these 5 steps to develop your imagination. Number 1, we're reading from page 182 and 183 of the 12 Universal Laws of Success. Number 1, stimulate your mind by reading. Reading is the process through which great minds are developed. There's so many statements of this thought. Leaders are readers. A daily reading program, an operational word, daily. A daily reading program is a powerful tool that can expand the scope of your thoughts and enhance your powers of imagination. Read material. Now, you know, the universe is so interesting. Every instruction, every idea has a yin and yang aspect of it. You have to choose to read stimulating material, material that challenges your belief system, material that inspires you to right action. You see, through reading, you can expand your level of exposure. They often say, if you can see it, you can be it. And reading can help you see the greater you. Number 2, practice your imagination skills. You see, imagination is a learned skill. We can practice that skill to get good at it. Imagination is a skill that can be learned, that can be practiced, and it can be mastered. Every form, every shape originated in imagination. When you're in New York City, as a child, I wanted to see the Empire State Building. And a building over 100 stories high, you look up in awe. Well, that building manifested from a blueprint. Without that blueprint, that building could not have been built. The blueprint manifested from a thought in somebody's mind, a vision in somebody's mind. Some developer said, I want to build the tallest building in the world. And so in that developer's imagination, he was able to see the building that eventually manifested through the blueprint, through the construction, and finally to manifestation. So if imagination is that powerful, and it is, how do we work on it? How do we expand our imagination skills? And there's a spiritual principle that's key. It says, be still and know. To most effectively develop your imagination skills, and think about this, imagination is the process of learning to listen to and hear that inner voice, to plug into infinite eternal wisdom. So techniques of meditation and relaxation are the key. Learn to put yourself in an alpha state, a rest state. There are tons of books on meditation, and I recommend that you get one. But just in the simplest state, we started this program today with just a brief meditation. And when you re-listen to this and you watch that process, you can see how your entire physiology, your body changed just for a moment, just because we took in a breath. A breath is a sign of energy and life. So practice by find a place to sit quietly, close your eyes, and begin by focusing on familiar things. Just if you have a car that you love, work to see the vision of that car in your mind's eye, to be able to see it as clearly as if you were standing in front of it. As you begin to see familiar things first, then you can begin to expand to seeing your thoughts, seeing your goals, and seeing the ideas as visual images in your mind. A friend was expressing happiness. And I said, well, how do you visualize happiness? And it's particularly, he visualized happiness as a Thanksgiving dinner where all of his friends and family were there. And everybody was happy. And the conversation was peaceful. And they were remembering beautiful, incredible times they had together as a family. Whatever that vision, if you can see it clearly in your mind, you can experience it in your life. Number 3, have goals you want to achieve and the purpose you want to realize clearly in your mind. Develop mental images of the goals you wish to accomplish and an idea of your life purpose. we often teach as you begin to look at your goals, from your immediate goals to your intermediate goals to your long range goals to your life goals. As you develop your long range goals, a pattern begins to emerge, and you begin to see yourself. You may, I'm sure that Dr. King, when he started out, didn't necessarily start out seeing himself receiving the Nobel Prize, but he saw a vision himself big enough to say, I need to change the condition of my people. It's not enough to be a great preacher with degrees and able to move people and have them shout and feel better, but I want to change the condition of my people. And so it is in this goal process that you are able to begin to realize your vision and your purpose. We often say it, and we'll say it again: write the goals in the shortest, simplest statement possible. They must be definite and specific. Write each goal in the most sensory fashion possible, describing how it feels, how it smells, how it tastes, how it moves, all of the sensory aspects about it, because your subconscious mind operates, is really the embodiment of your feeling nature. And so your subconscious mind, when you feel a certain way, you literally create the vibration to attract that into your life experience. Analyze and organize your goals, because they will help reveal your life purpose. Now I'm going to give you the silver bullet. Read your goals aloud at least 3 times per day and contemplate your purpose. And if someone say, what's the one thing that separates those people who are able to accomplish good things from those who can accomplish great things? And that difference is reading those goals and that statement of purpose at least 3 times a day. Every goal setting book will tell you this. Every success book will tell you this. And if there's one thing that people are reluctant to do, it is to do that 3 times a day. And I recommend doing it at specific times. It's something about creating a rhythm of success that then creates the vibration that draws success to you. Number 4, develop your powers of concentration. Once again, concentration is a learned skill. Concentration is the process by which you focus your attention on a particular thought, thing, or outcome. So when you concentrate on achievement, then you must focus your attention, your vibration on that you want to achieve. Your powers of concentration come from your willpower and your self-discipline. Let me say that again. Your powers of concentration come from your willpower and your self-discipline. If you have no self-discipline, you cannot concentrate. I think Zig Ziglar said, concentration is the bridge between thought and manifestation. Your powers of concentration can be developed by focusing your attention, your actions, your feelings on your goal. And so this process of reading it over at least 3 times a day, it's a way of focusing your attention on that which you desire. For our listeners out there, if you start doing that one thing, writing your goals in a very specific, detailed, sensory fashion, and reading it over at 3 times a day, read it in the morning, read it at 7 a.m., read it at high noon, 12 o'clock, read it at night, 7 p.m. If you do that every day, it's going to happen for you. You see, focus is energy applied over time through faith. Let me say that again. Focus is energy applied over time through faith. And then number 5, this is the big one, folks. Always control your moods and emotions. Moods and emotions are the vehicles used by the saboteur. And the saboteur is that negative part of you that creates distractions, discouragement, distrust, doubt, indecision, procrastination. A part of the yin-yang aspect of life is that whenever you create flowers, weeds grow automatically. You don't have to plant weeds. And so whenever you create something positive, something good, the negative is correspondingly created. The difference is now you choose to deal with it. So if you're a gardener, you choose to pull up the weeds. You don't pat yourself on the back and say, oh, I planted great flowers. You recognize the yin-yang aspect of life and say, let me pull up these weeds and let me do it diligently. The saboteur is neutralized by taking possession of your thoughts in such strength or degree that your emotions, your instincts, and your body are under your control. I'm going to read that again. The saboteur is neutralized by taking possession of your thoughts in such strength or degree that your emotions, your instincts, and your body are under your control. The formula says this: what you recognize in your thoughts, you energize in your feeling nature. What you energize in your feeling nature, you realize in your life experience. And so let us recap, let us summarize what we've covered today. Number one, desire is based on your level of consciousness, your level of exposure. Your level of consciousness is one with your level of vibration. Consciousness creates vibration. And your level of vibration directly relates to your level of manifestation. So if you can think it, you can feel it, you can see it, you can want it, and you expand that version of it, you create a vibration that helps it manifest. Second principle: the results that you experience in life depend on the vibration level at which you live. And so going back to that quote, that said, when I was a child, as I thought as a child, life is like a series of plateaus. So each time you come to a new realization, then that new understanding brings about a whole new system, a set of variables now. And so you then, each level of growth that you have, once you get on that level of growth, you understand better and you recognize that this is just another step, and that there's another step, a higher step, and another step, and another step. And so our life is about growing and going, to continue with each step along the way. The third principle is that we expand our desire by expanding our level of consciousness, our exposure. There's an African proverb, and it says that the man who's never left home thinks his mother is the best cook. And if his life is based on that truth, for him, it's a small reality. But when you've had more exposure, then you can see more. And when you can see more, you can be more. And then finally, to practice these 5 steps to help you expand your imagination. Stimulate your mind by reading. Practice your imagination skills. Have goals you want to achieve and the purpose you want to realize clearly in your mind. Develop your powers of concentration. And always control your moods and your emotions. When you can do these things, then you have the power to be whatever you want to be. You have the power to do whatever you want to do. you have the power to have whatever you want to have, always knowing that the best is yet to come. Thank you so much for joining us again. Just to remind you that if you don't have your copy of the 12 Universal Laws of Success, it's of course available on Amazon, but you can go to our website, www.herbertharris.com, to get your copy. And when you get one, we'll send you a whole ton of goodies. You even get the voice book, what is it called? The audio book as a bonus. Also implore you to join us in this journey as we close out this year. Where we close out this year determines the starting point for next year. So these last days of this year, we must get busy sharpening our axe, tuning in with the people and the vibrations that can help us. And for that, I'd love for you to become a part of the Success Mentorship Network. That's available on Patreon, www.patreon, patreon.com/Success Mentorship Network. Go there. As soon as you get off this broadcast, go there and check out some of the many audios and videos we have. We guarantee you there's one that you need to hear to help you change your life. Once again, Dr. Herbert Harris with Success Mentorship class number 135.